The tip of the spear was like a flash of lightning, a spearhead thrust to skewer the heart. Even attempting to evade it was pointless. It was but a flash, too swift for the human eye to follow. And yet, moonlight swept in to save me, from the strike that threatened to end me. The sound was beautiful, like the tolling of a bell. No, truth be told, the sound hung over me, heavier than an iron weight. This beauty had little to do with aesthetics. The stark armor wrapped around her was like the frozen night itself. The ringing was not in itself pleasant. It was the sound of steel. But the night herself was beautiful enough to make it into the chiming of a bell.
とあなたが私のマスターか。召喚に従い参上した。これより我が剣はあなたと共にあり、あなたの運命は私と共にある。ここに契約は完了した。
Just as she chose. Oh, indeed, the pact was sealed, just as she chose to serve me. I've already fucked this up like twice. Wow, way to kill the mood. I'm sure in that moment that I swore to save her. The moonlight cut through the darkness. As if in imitation of the night, the storehouse regained its former calm. Time had stopped. The vision before me had lasted less than a second. Be that as it may, I will always remember the sight of her as clearly as if it were still happening now, even if I fall into the depths of hell. The faint slant of her profile, her serene, divinely green eyes. For a moment, time stopped, and her silhouette, draped in blue, swayed in the wind. I was struck by the pale blue glow. Her hair, as fine as golden thread, was bathed in moonlight. Whoa, Fate! Whoa, Saber! This is the game with Saber in it, guys. It's the game with Saber. The Saber one, the Saber game. I see someone who takes me back. He's tall with chiseled features. I've never known him to crack a joke. He ruffles my hair affectionately. No, that's not what this is. It's more like he's grasping my head and working like a stubborn jar lid. Maybe he doesn't know how to control his strength. That's only to be expected. It's the first time he's ever done something like this. It's time for me to leave. It's time for me to leave. You know what to do next. I answered yes in a somber voice. He nodded once, withdrew his hand, and stood up. That's all. Had I known this would be the last time we would ever see each other, I would have done my best to make him laugh with the perfect joke. I've been practicing punchlines in private, in the hopes of finally seeing a smile crack that stony face. If I have one regret, it's that I never got to tell him any of my jokes. Get the association in your depth before you become an adult. Any decisions after that, I leave up to you. I'm sure you'll manage on your own. So he said, but I bet he was worried about me. He told me about our family's heirloom jewels, the gems passed down to us from our grandmaster, and how to manage the underground workshop. It was a rapid-fire course of subjects he'd never taught me before. Even as a child, I realized that he would probably never come home again. There was a war. Not a war between countries, but between people. But in this war, there were only 7 combatants. It might not have seemed fitting to call it a war, but having mages involved changes things. 7 mages from different factions competed, but I wasn't sure why. They killed each other using methods I didn't really understand, and this is all localized in some city in Japan. One of them was the man in front of me. I meant that he would kill, and eventually be killed. Oh, it meant that sure. I'm sure he felt the ticking of his life's clock even more keenly than I did. Rin, before long the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it, but above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. And with that, He ruffled my hair one last time and left. I never saw him again. My father/teacher was one of the masters who participated in the Holy Grail War. He never came home.
いってらっしゃいませ、お父様。
I bid him farewell, as a well-behaved daughter should. I knew I was on the verge of tears, but I didn't let them show. I loved him. He was a great father, and an even greater mage. Mages are stubborn people. As far as I knew, there wasn't a more upstanding man in the whole world. As my instructor, he trained me. As my father, he loved me. So I decided I'd accept the things he left for me and choose my own path.
Written, before long the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it, but above all else, blah, 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 blah.
In the end, his final words for me were given as a mage, not a father. That's the moment I made up my
よ
mind.
し、それじゃあ一つ気合い入れて一人前になりますか。
It's only natural for an apprentice to live up to her master's hopes. That's how I, Rin Tosaka, grew up.
Tosaka, god damn it. One of my friends calls her Tosaka once, and God fuck. I've already killed the vibe.
That's how I, Rin Tosaka, grew up after experiencing life's twists and turns. It's been 10 years since my father went off to war. I wouldn't say I've been looking forward to this day, but I am a bit on edge. That goes without saying, after all. That moment, which was burned into my memory 10 years ago, will soon be upon me again.
Uh, 31st of, yep, I was right. I was only like 31st of January, yep. 31st.
Here's something.
うるさい、止まれ。
The noise doesn't stop. It's such an infernal racket. It's almost as if it's here to avenge my father.
何よもう、昨日は遅くまでやってたんだから。
What now? I was up late. Just a little longer. I wish it had just let me sleep a bit more. In fact, it should. I stayed up into the early hours deciphering my father's will, and I used a hell of a lot of magic energy to do it. I'm totally exhausted, body and mind.
もう、融通の利かないやつ。
Ring, ring. The alarm clock is deaf to my complaints. What kind of machine makes a noise that seems like its sole purpose is to remind you that you're late?
遅刻はまずい。
I can't be late. True, but there's a time and place for everything. No matter how much of an overachiever I am, I should try to make it to school at least. I should try to make it to school on time, at least for today, if only slightly.
そうそう。あらかじめ30分ずらして目覚ましをセットしたんだから、あと30分は眠れるはず。
I set my alarm 30 minutes early, which means I should still be able to sleep another 30. Doesn't that sound off?
30分ずらして。
I peer at the alarm clock through sleep-heavy eyelids. The hands point to 7 o'clock on the dot. I usually get up at 6:30, which means I've completely used up my safety margin. Speaking of which, why is my brain so slow in the morning? I glare at the alarm clock for several seconds. I shut off the alarm and climb sluggishly out of bed. The morning chill bites me as I cross the hallway and enter the parlor. This is the final 7 a.m. in January. Winters in Fuyugi are relatively warm, but the mornings here are as cold as anywhere. Even at home, my breath mists white. It's that much colder without anyone else living here.
暖房。
I turn on the heater and go wash up. Single living is so inconvenient at times like these. If there was someone else here to wake up before me, then the parlor would already be heated. I wash my face at the sink. I run a brush through my long hair and get dressed. A chilly morning in a frigid bathroom. The only thing to be said for it is that the cold water mercilessly beats the sleepiness from me. With a final tug on the ribbon at my collar, I finish getting dressed. All that's left is to have breakfast and go to school. The clock reads just past 7, so my morning rush feels a bit anticlimactic. Of course, I'd never do anything so uncouth as sprinting to school. The Tosaka family motto dictates that we conduct ourselves with confidence and elegance at all times. My ancestors must have been some high and mighty aristocrats if that's what we've taught through the generations. The anachronistic mansion I live in is proof enough of that. Plus, the Tosakas are a line of spell weavers who practice what is known as magecraft. We're not just an old family; we have an admirably storied history. In fact, I literally can't talk about it. The truth is, I'm a mage. Who could I even brag about that to? As the name suggests, magecraft is what most normal people would see as magic. It sounds like some supernatural woo-woo, and if you'd like to think of it as just wiggling your fingers and saying abracadabra, that's fine too. Just think of us as people who chant weird words and make equally weird stuff happen. That said, we don't fly around on broomsticks, we don't shoot stars out of wands either. We can do things like that, but there's no point, so we don't. We're pretty much heretics who lurk in the shadows of society. We're not allowed to draw attention to ourselves, and anyone who has the time for that kind of thing would rather spend it on their research. Ordinary humans might call us magicians, but that would be wrong. In fact, there are only 5 magicians in the whole world. Magicians are what we call people who can do something no one else can. They can accomplish feats beyond the means of modern science and perform genuine miracles. Similarly, magic is the label we use for mystics, magical mysteries, that can't be realized with any amount of time or skill. While magecraft, though it looks mysterious, is something anyone can do with enough time and resources. I'm a mage, and the kind of mystics I use are merely magecraft, not true magic. Confusing, I know, but that's how it works. Also, modern civilization doesn't accept the existence of mages. We believe in, manipulate, and study things that can't be measured, which puts us at odds with modern society. Above all, there's no point to any of what we do. You'd be so much happier just going off to a normal school and becoming a normal adult than you would studying magecraft. Human technology has accomplished great things. For the last few centuries, magecraft has been playing catch-up to the progress of civilization. Nothing is impossible for humanity anymore. Miracles that could only be realized with magecraft in the distant past have been reduced to common tools and appliances. Even so, magecraft does have its benefits. Just as there are some things only science can accomplish. There remains heights only mystics can reach. If science is racing into the future, then mages are racing into the past. I think the Tosaka Grandmaster said that. Whether you're heading into the past or the future, your destination is the same. 0, or something like that. We can shelve the difficult topics for now. Philosophy is for the elderly. I finish my breakfast and pick up my bag. Oh right, gotta bring my pendant. I'm reluctant to take something so valuable to school, but it would be a waste to leave it behind. This thing's 100 years old. It's by far the most powerful jewel we have. One could even say it is on an entirely different level. I obtained the gem after decoding my father's will last night. It's imbued with 10 years' worth of my own magical energy. I've been told that the Tosaka family has heirlooms passed down since the olden days, and this might be one of them. Tosaka mages specialize in the conversion and flow of power. We channel our magical energy into precious gems whenever we have a spare moment. Simply put, I'm the gun and the jewels are the bullets. The other main thing I've inherited from my father is the magic crest engraved into my left arm. A magic crest is proof that I'm the heir to our lineage. It's like all the techniques that the Tosaka considered. It's like all the techniques of the Tosaka condensed into a tattoo.
心に越したことはないか。
Can't let my guard down, even if it hasn't started yet. For now, I stow my pendant, my father's keepsake, in a pocket.
切り札だものね。これに秘められた魔力ならできないことはないぐらいなんだし。
It's my trump card. There's nothing I can't do with the power stored in there. It's 7:30. I'd better leave soon if I don't want to be late for school.
シュミースン、フィアファーレントライ。
I weave energy into a brief foreign phrase. As a mage, I can't neglect the security of my home base. That still applies even if I've never had so much as a single burglar, lost child, or stray cat wander into my home. Actually, I don't think the neighbors have ever come over to even say hello.
別にいいけどね。野良猫でさえ入ってこないってどういうことよ。
That's fine with me. But why don't I ever get any stray cats around here? I look up at the mansion that's been my home for over a decade. Fuyuki is a strange city. One side of the intersection dividing the residential areas is filled with old samurai estates, while the side I'm on has an abundance of mansions built in European style. Apparently, a whole bunch of foreign families immigrated here long ago, but I've never seen a single foreigner around. There's even a cemetery for foreigners in Shinto, the new part of the city, across the river, but it was built for the generation that immigrated here.
日本の土が合わなかったのかな。
Maybe Japan just didn't suit them. I make a mental note to ask the priest about it next time I visit the church. He's nothing if not full of boring trivia, for sure.
あれ
Something feels off as soon as I step outside.
なんだろう。思ったより静かなんですけど。
It's quieter than I thought. No trace of the typical morning bustle. 7:30 in the morning, there would only be students and workers on their daily commute.
まあ、こういう日もあるか。
I guess it's just one of those days. Maybe everyone slept in. It's unusually cold today, so everyone must be snuggled up in bed.
けどさすがに。
Even if that were true, it's strange that there isn't a single student on the street. At this time of day, you'd expect to see at least a school uniform or two. And from where I'm standing at the school gate, it looks like morning club activities are just starting up. Which can only mean...
あれ遠坂今朝は一段と早いのね。
You're awfully early today.
やっぱりそうきたか。
I knew it. With a light sigh, I turned to face the student who called out to me.
おはよう。今日も寒いねこりゃ。
The girl who addresses me so casually is Ayako Mitsuzuri. She's my classmate in 2A, and she has quite a history.
おはよう、みつづりさん。つかぬことを聞くけど、今何時だかわかる？
Morning, Mitsuzuri. I'm sorry for the weird question, but do you know what time it is?
何時って7時前じゃない。遠坂寝ぼけてる？
It's not even 7 yet. You still asleep or something? She waves her hand in front of my face as if to ask if anybody's home. Ayako is one of my few friends. She knows I'm not a morning person. She's probably figured out by now that I'm still not completely with it.
うちの時計、1時間早かったみたい。しかも軒並み。
The clocks at home are an hour ahead. All of them, apparently.
目覚まし時計はおろか、柱時計まできっかり早まってた。
I thought it was just my alarm clock, but the grandfather clock was off too. What's going on here? Father must have set the clocks to go haywire once I took the pendant up to the underground cellar.
遠坂
気にしないで。別に大したことじゃないから。
It's no big deal.
みつづりさんは今日も朝練？
It's no big deal. Are you on your way to morning practice, Mitsuzuri?
ええ。弓道部は問題児も多いし、うまいのは一人減ったからね。4月の新入生獲得のために少しぐらいは見栄えを良くしとかないと。
Yeah, there's a lot of troublemakers in the Kyudo club, and we're down one of our best shooters. We need to put on a good show if we're going to attract first years in April.
そう。気苦労が絶えないのね、相変わらず。
Sounds rough.
他人事だからって言ってくれるわ。あ、ついでだから見ていく？遠坂が見学する分には男どもも喜ぶけど。
Way to show you care. Oh, wanna come see? I'm sure the boys would love to know you're watching.
弓道部。
I'm acquainted with 3 of its members. One is Ayuko, the girl I'm talking to now. I barely ever speak to the other 2. Of those latter 2, there's one that I actually can't explain away as simply an acquaintance. I became friends with Ayuko, the club captain, because I'd been watching the club from afar.
そうね。様子を見るだけなら付き合うわ。早く来すぎたからやることもないし。
It's not like I have anything else to do this early in the morning.
よし、じゃあ善は急げ。早速行こう。
Nice, then let's get going. One of our school's trademarks is its well-equipped archery range. The chair of the school board has a passion for Kyudo, traditional Japanese archery, so they built a magnificent range on campus. It's kind of a waste for a high school club, to be honest.
ほらほら、まだ開始まで時間があるし、中でお茶しようぜ、遠坂。
Come on, let's go. There's still time before practice starts, so I'll get you some tea. Ayako tugs at my arm, looking somewhat pleased. If I'm being honest, her brusque way of speaking is a bad habit. As Ayako said, there's no one else at the range. We sip Japanese tea that's so hot it numbs my tongue as we prepare ahead for today's classes. The hot drink is delicious in the quiet, wintry archery range.
さて、単刀直入に聞くけど、そっちの調子はどうなのよ、遠坂。いい加減頼りになる相棒は見つかった？
I'll get right down to it. What's up with you today, Tosaka? Did you finally reel in someone good? And she uses the occasion to ask me something completely ridiculous.
ほんと、いきなり本題に入るのね、あなたは。その言いぶりだと、そっちはもう見つけたんだ。
Should I take that tone to mean you beat me to the punch?
ノーコメント。遠坂が手を沸かすまではこっちも秘密さ。で、どうなのよ。その疲れた顔を見ると脈ありって感じだけど。
If you're not showing your cards, then neither am I. So how about it? If you being so tired isn't gonna go by, I bet I'm right on the mark.
こっちもノーコメント。あなたに隠してもどうせ見抜かれるか。残念ながらこっちはまだよ。
I guess even if I tried to hide it, you'd see right through me. Sadly, not yet.
綾子の方はお互いのんびりしてる余裕はないはずだけど。
What about you? Can you really afford to take your time on the romantic front?
そうなんだけど。私も雲行きは怪しいわ。とりあえず取り繕うことはできるけど、ことがことでしょ。この先の命運がかかってるんだから、妥協するわけにもいかないし。
You're not wrong. Things aren't looking too good. Sure, I could grab someone just for appearances, but quality matters, you know. I shouldn't compromise my future's on the line.
勝手に決めて私に負けるのも嫌？
Are you that worried you'll make the wrong choice and lose to me?
もちろん。私にとって重要なのはあんたを任すことだもの。何が手に入るとか、何を手に入れるとかは二の次よ。
Obviously. The important thing here is that you lose to me. What I actually gain in the process is secondary, really. She chuckles confidently.
似た者同士ね、私たち。
ええ、初めて会った時に言ったでしょ。あんたとはそういう関係にあるんだって。
I told you when we met that this is what it would be like between us. She did, didn't she? Kill or be killed. I'm sure that's how it'll be between the two of us. I was genuinely surprised to have someone say that right off the bat. Translation: Our friendship won't bloom unless we're constantly trading blows, is what Ayako is getting at. I agree with her. In the 2 years since then, I still haven't figured out whether she's my friend or my nemesis.
ところでさ、私たちなんでこんな話してるんだっけ？
How did we get on this again?
なんでって言い出したのは遠坂でしょ。
You started it, Tosaka.
あんたがいつまでも彼氏がいないのは女としてどうよなんてこぼすもんだから。なら3年になる前にどっちが先に男作るかって勝負になったんじゃない。
You complained that you'd never have a boyfriend, so we decided to make a contest to see who catches one first, remember?
ああ、そうだった。売り言葉に買い言葉ってや やつだった。で、遅れを取った方が一日言いなりになるんだっけ？
We said that whoever loses has to do whatever the winner says for a day, right?
ええ、今時子供でも交わさない約束だけど、あんたと私に限って往生際が悪いってことはないでしょ。
I don't even think kids make deals like this anymore, but we're both sore
どんな
losers.
結果になろうと、負けた方はおとなしく勝者に従うことになる。それを思うと私は今から楽しみで楽しみで。
No matter what happens, the loser has to honor the deal. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to winning. Ayako snickers in delight. My goodness. Ayako Mitsuzuri is, to put it mildly, a handful. I'll admit, I'm looking forward to winning myself, so that goes for us both.
そうけど三つさん、楽しむのは結構だけど目的をたがえないよう気をつけなさい。勝負の内容は後先だけじゃないでしょ。
Don't lose sight of the goal. There's more to our contest than being first to the finish.
わかってるって。遠坂より早く遠坂が心底羨ましがるような関係にならないと完全勝利とは言えないからね。
I know, it's not a real victory unless it's a relationship that makes you green with envy.
私たちにとってはそれが一番厄介な問題なんだが、どんなにいい男だろうと好きになれなきゃ意味がない。
It doesn't matter how great of a guy he is if we can't bring ourselves to love him. Ayaka's sigh is heavy. From what I've heard, she's known as a bit of a misinterest. Can't put too much stock in gossip, though. That she made this bet at all means less that she just doesn't like boys, and more that she hasn't found the right person.
It doesn't like boys, you say?
Then
ち
aside,
ょっと、私たちって何よ、私たちって。
wait, when did this become we?
断っておきますけど、私はそっちと違って冷血感じゃありません。男の子を好きになるなんて問題でもなんでもないわ。
I'll have you know that I'm not an ice queen like you. I'd have no problem liking a boy.
ああ、それ嘘。もしくは気づいていないだけ。遠坂が男を気にかけるなんてことは絶対ないもの。
Yeah, not buying it. Maybe you just haven't realized it, but I can't imagine you getting soft on a boy.
今まで数えきれないぐらい告白されたくせに一つも色良い返事してないじゃない。少しでも興味があるなら付き合おうって思うでしょ。なのに断り続けるってことは、あんたは男に興味がないってことよ。
You're always getting asked out, and you never once said yes. You'd think that if you were actually interested, you'd at least date a few. I'd say your record speaks for itself. You don't care about boys.
発想が貧困ね。その場合、すでに好きな相手がいるから断ってるって話もありじゃない？
You have no imagination at all, do you? What if I already have feelings for someone?
うわ、すっごい美談。いいね、そういうの。ロマンだな。
Wow, talk about tall tales. But sure, I can appreciate a good romance. Ayaka's tone isn't mocking, she nods solemnly. Her sigh tells me that it would be nice if it were true. I don't believe myself. I really can't hide anything from her.
そうね。私もそう思う。
She's right. I know very well how cold I am.
認めるわ。私、こと恋愛に関しては素人みたい。
I'll concede, I'm a novice when it comes to romance.
そういうこと。似た者同士だって言ったのは遠坂でしょ。
That you are. Two peas in a pod, right?
もうじき7時か。秘密の話はこの辺にしとこう。いつ人がやってくるかわからないし、朝になったら学生らしく振る舞わないとな。
Damn, it's already 7. We better cut the secret meeting short. Who knows when someone might walk in on us. Time to start acting like students.
まあ、三つさんにもそういう世間体があったなんて意外だわ。これだけでも早起きした甲斐があったみたい。
Oh, look at you. What a social butterfly. It was worth waking up early just to see it.
あんたほど筋金入ってないけどね。私の世間体なんて遠坂凛に比べたら灯籠の斧ってもんよ。あんたの猫かぶりは擬態っていうより別人格のレベルよ。別人格。
not as much as the great Rin Tosaka. I'm the David to your Goliath. Your ability to fake being a goody two-shoes at school is practically an alternate personality. Aiko sniffs exaggeratedly. I emptied the rest of the teacup she poured me under a new pot.
で、登坂はどうして部活に入らないのよ。運動神経がないなんてされごとは聞かないからね。私は去年の体力測定でことごとくあんたに負けたのまだ恨んでるんだから。
So, why not join a club? Don't give me your usual bull about being unathletic. I still haven't forgotten how you beat me in every fitness test last year.
あら、肺活量では三辻さんに負けたわよ、私。あと、体重も三辻さんのが上だったけど。
You have me beat in lung capacity, though, and weight.
やったー、重さで3キロ上回ったで、体重で勝っても嬉しくないってのよ、このタヌキ。
Aiko slaps the table.
危ない。お茶がこぼれるでしょ、三辻さん。首相なんだから道場は大事になさい。
Careful, you might spill the tea. Shouldn't the club captain be taking better care of the
うる
place?
さい。私は首相である前に登坂のライバルだ。
Shut it. I'm your rival first and club captain somewhere after
部
that.
員がいなけりゃあんたに食ってかかるのは当然よ。
If there's no one else around, you can bet I'm ready to take the fight to you. Ayako side-eyes me with a huff. She has a unique idea about beauty. A beautiful woman must walk the martial path. She's always going on about that. Not surprisingly, she's well versed in most martial arts. Kyudo was the discipline she was least skilled at, so she joined the club and worked her way up to captain. She's probably one of the top 3 people in our school you'd least want to mess
あ
with.
ら、部員がいなければ首相じゃないなんて問題発言じゃないそれ。
Should you really be saying that, you stop being a captain if none of your club members are around.
問題発言なもんですか。私はお飾りの首相だから、できることって言ったら不良部員を取り締まることだけよ。
Why not? I'm only captain for show. I could just have the more unruly members take care of any grunt work.
私以上にしゃがりっぱなやつがいるんだから、首相としての面目なんてないわ。
Plus, there's better shooters than me anyway. I don't have any captain's honor to defend.
そうなの？藤村先生、三辻さんは飛び抜けてうまいって言ってたけど。
That's so? I recall Miss Fujimura saying you were the best they had.
あの人がそう言うんなら、そりゃ少しは自信が持てるけど、まあ、いなくなっちまったやつのことなんて考えても仕方ないか。そうね、藤村先生がそう言ってくれたんなら、真面目に首相やんないとまずいか。
Coming from her, that's a bit of an ego boost, but still, she's only saying that because of the guy who left. You're right, though. If Miss Fujimura thinks that much of me, I'd better act like a real captain.
そうそう。噂をすれば影。そろそろ部員がやってくる頃でしょ。私はおいとまするけど、三辻さんはきちんと首相になりなさい。
Speak of the devil, here come your club mates now. Time for me to go, but make sure you do your part.
何？見ていかないの？シャ。
What? You're not gonna watch us shoot?
見てもわからないもの。遠くから眺める分にはいいけどね。不心得者が道場にいるわけにはいかないでしょ。
I wouldn't understand it even if I did. It's one thing to watch from afar, but the uninitiated shouldn't loiter in the dojo. Just as I get up to leave, the first club members begin entering the archery range.
おはようございます、首相。
Good morning, Captain.
ああ、おはようマト。今朝は一人？
Morning, Watto. Are you by yourself today?
はい。力になれず、申し訳ありません。
Yes. I'm sorry, I couldn't convince him to come.
ああ、いいっていいって。本人が弓をやらないって言うんなら、無理をさせても仕方がない。
It's fine. If he doesn't want to, there's no point forcing him. Ayako speaks to the first club member to
それ
arrive.
じゃあ失礼するわ。また後でね、三辻さん。
I'll be going then. See you later, Mitsuri.
ああ、また後でね、登坂。
お疲れ様です、遠坂先輩。ありがとう。さくらもしっかりね。
I leave the dojo behind so as not to get in the way.
やあ、遠坂。おはよう。朝から君に会えるなんてついてるな。
Morning, Tosaka. Funny running into you so early. Oh no, and here comes the person I least wanted to see.
おはようマトくん。今日は早いのね。
Good morning, Mato. You're here
当
early.
たり前だろ。首相なんだから。早めに来ないと一年に示しがつかないじゃないか。
Of course I am. I'm the captain, so I need to set a good example for the first years. Shinji Mato from Class 2C grins at me. He's the vice captain of the Kyudo Club and darling of half the girls at school. It's mostly thanks to his looks, of course, but he's also admired for his good grades, social graces, being kind to girls, and being an overall heartthrob or something like that. I really don't follow that kind of stuff. It's just what I hear my classmates say.
そう。ご機嫌なところ悪いんだけど、一文字抜けてるわ、マトくん。大事な字だから忘れない方がいいと思うけど。
Hate to burst your bubble, but I'm pretty sure you're forgetting an important part of that motto. Try to remember next time.
一文字抜けてるって何がさ。
幸福の福。字は違うけど響きは一緒でしょ、副首相さん。気をつけなさい。別に首相も副首相も変わらないけど、変に意識するとこだわってるみたいに聞こえるでしょ。
Vice. I don't care whether you're captain or vice captain, but if you make a point of leaving it out, people might think it bothers you. Vice captain.
そうだね。今後は気をつける。ありがとう、遠坂。
I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Tosaka.
お礼を言われるようなことはしてないけど、まあ、マト君がそう思ったのなら私には関係ないか。
Not sure I did anything you should thank me for, but hey, I'm not going to stop you. With that, I turn to leave the range.
ちょっと待てよ。見学に来たんだろう。なら見ていけばいいじゃないか。遠坂なら大歓迎だよ。
Well, hang on. You're here to watch, aren't you? You're more than welcome to stay.
遠慮するわ。練習の邪魔をしたくないもの。
I don't want to interrupt your practice.
そんなの構わないよ。他の連中が気に障るんなら締め出すからさ。ちょっと寄っていけって。
I don't mind at all. If anyone says otherwise, I'll kick them out. So why don't you stick around?
だから邪魔をする気はないって言ってるでしょ。
I already said I don't want to intrude.
それに私、別に弓道に興味があるわけじゃないから。
It's not as if I'm particularly interested in Kyudo.
知らない奴のシャを見ても嬉しくないわ。
I'm not really excited to watch a bunch of people I don't know shooting arrows.
なんだよ、遠坂。弓道に興味はなかったのか。へえ。だっていうのに、放課後になると遠くから見てたのは、そういうわけかな。
Huh. I must just be confused after watching through school so many times.
I don't know what he's playing at, but he seems to have seriously misunderstood
なんだ、
things.
知ってたの、マト君。
ああ、よく目があったんだぜ。僕と遠坂。
Yeah. Our eyes met often. You and I.
遠坂は僕を見ていた。
Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, our eyes met often. I saw you watching
声
me.
を返したかったけど、一応決まりでね。車上では声を上げちゃいけないんだ。
I wanted to call out to you, but you know how it is. I can't raise my voice in the range.
Shinji starts closing in on me, looking pleased with himself. I see the triumphant glint in his eyes competing with that affable smile.
勘違いしてたよ。遠坂は弓が好きなんだと思ってたけど、弓道には興味がないんだろ。ならなんで遠坂は道場を見ていたのかな。
I did wrong all along. I thought you liked watching us shoot, but you aren't interested. Why were you watching then, Tosaka? Oh, shit.
Now I see. It would sound like that,
離れ
wouldn't
て
it?
くれないかしら、マト君。私、あまり人に近寄られるのは好きじゃないし。
Would you mind taking a step back, Mato? I like my personal space.
何遠坂。
Hmm? What was that, Tosaka?
切れた。ここまで言ってもわからないのね。
Wow, you're still not getting it. This isn't my usual style, but I guess it's what what it'll take. Here, I'll make this feel simple so that even you can understand.
いいマト君。私は弓道に興味がない以上にあなたに興味はないって言ってるのよ。実際あなたが車上にいたなんて今初めて知ったぐらいだし、きっとこれからも目に入らないわ。
I am even less interested in you than I am in Kudo. I didn't even know you were in the club, and I doubt I'll remember next time either. I must have touched a nerve because he tries to grab me roughly. I twist out of his reach and turn to leave.
それじゃあね、マト君。自意識過剰なのも結構だけど、ほどほどにしておいた方がいいわよ。
Bye, Mato. Sometimes a little self-consciousness can do you good.
遠坂、お前。
Tosaka, you little... Shinji sounds like he's about to say something, but he keeps his temper and doesn't chase after me. The guy is all style, no substance. If he had even a little backbone, the people around him wouldn't suffer nearly so much. I take the rear entrance of the campus from the archery range. It's past 7 now, but there still aren't students in the hallways.
あれ、遠坂さんだ。
Hey, it's Tosaka!
おはようございます、藤村先生。
Good morning, Miss Fujimura.
おはよう遠坂さん。ちゃんと挨拶してくれて先生は嬉しいよ。
Yep, good morning to you. I just love how you're so polite to teachers like me. The strange woman pretends to sob in delight. It may be hard to believe, but this extraordinarily affectionate and happy-go-lucky woman is actually a teacher here.
先生、ちゃんと挨拶をする以外にする挨拶があるのでしょうか？
Is there another way to say good morning?
あるわよ。1年生はちゃんと挨拶してくれるんだけどね、上級生になってくると私の名字で挨拶しないんだから。遠坂さんはああいう輩の真似しちゃダメだからね。
There sure are. The first years all greet me properly, but once they're upperclassmen, they stop using my surname. Don't follow their example, alright?
はあ、よくわかりませんけど、先生に失礼なことはしませんが。
I'm not quite sure I understand, but I wouldn't be rude to you.
よしよし。ああ、みんながみんな遠坂さんみたいだったらいいのにな。
How I wish they could be more like you, Tosaka. With a parting wave and a see ya, Miss Fujimura leaves. Fortunately, she isn't my homeroom teacher. Miss Fujimura teaches English. Her sunny attitude belies her expert rank in Japanese fencing, kendo. In her student days, they called her the Fuyuki Tiger. That's the mystery, though. You'd think someone known as a tiger would be feared, not adored, right? Miss Fujimura cheerily heads off in the direction of the archery range. For some reason, she's the faculty advisor to the Kyudo Club instead of the Kendo Club. It's just before 7:30. I can see students doing their club activities in the school grounds, but there's hardly anyone indoors. Except...
遠坂。
He always blurts out my name like I did something wrong every time he sees me.
あら、生徒会長。こんな朝早くから校舎の見回り？それとも各部室の手入れかしら？どっちでもいいけど相変わらず豆ね、そういうとこ。
Well, if it isn't the student council president. It's a little early for patrolling campus, isn't it? Or are you maybe fixing up the club rooms? You're diligent as always. Not that I care.
そういうお前こそ何を企んでいる。部活動もしていないお前がこんな早くに何の用か。
Just what are you doing? You're not even in the club, so why are you here so early?
ただの気まぐれよ。竜斗くんちみたいに早起きじゃないもの、私。
I just felt like it. I'm not an early riser like your family, Ryudo. The student council president's handsome face darkens with suspicion. He seems to have it out for me. I really don't know why. Maybe me saying temples are so dull past is what started it.
一つ聞いておくが、最近夜遅くまで校舎にいたことはあるか、遠坂。
Have you been staying late on campus lately, Tosaka?
ないわね。私が帰宅部だって知ってるでしょ、竜斗くんは。
I'm in the Go Home Club. You know that.
当然だ。生徒会長を任された以上、全校生徒の情報は把握している。
Naturally, as the appointed student council president, I'm well acquainted with all of our students' affairs.
そうなら私に聞くまでもないでしょ。なんだってそんなことを聞くか知らないけど、生徒会の仕事を部外者に押し付けちゃまずいんじゃない？
I'm not sure why you bothered asking then. I hope you're not trying to pawn your student council work off on outsiders.
情報収集は一人でやりなさいよ。私みたいな部外者に頼らないで。
Spy on your fellow students yourself. Don't ask me. It's got nothing to do with me.
たわけお前のどこが部外者だ
In what way are you an
う
outsider?
ちの会計の首根っこ掴んで悪さをしたのを知らぬと思ったがこのめぎつれ
Don't think I ever noticed the way you used your wiles to get your hooks into our treasure, you vixen.
あら、人聞きが悪いわね。あれは三辻さんに頼まれて部費の割合を明らかにしただけでしょ。
Well, that was uncalled for. Mitsuzuri just asked me to publicize your club budget allocation.
みんなの予算がどこに使われているか調べるなんて生徒として当然の行為だと思うけど。
Don't the students have a right to know how their funds are being spent?
なんとうちの会計を1週間休ませた精神的ダメージが当然の行為なのかとんでもない倫理観をお持ちのようだな相変わらず
I thought it was to you, was it? The psychological damage you inflicted on the treasure made you take an entire week off. I shouldn't be surprised to see just how twisted your ethics are.
あなたもね、部下の手綱ぐらいちゃんと握ってなさい。
Like who's talking? You want to keep your staff on a tighter leash.
文化系ばかりひいきするのはフェアじゃないわ。
Playing favors of the cultural clubs doesn't seem fair to me.
分かっているだからこそ俺の手で不正を正したかったのだが
I know that. That's why I was going to audit them myself. Hey! It's fixed, you say. Just then, an unexpected visitor makes his presence known.
と悪い頼んだのはこっちなのにエミヤに任せっきりにしてしまった許せ
Oh, sorry, Emiya. You're doing all the work while I'm out here, and I just asked for your help with repairs. Forgive me. Don't worry about it. Where's the next one? We don't have much time.
ああ次は視聴覚室だ前から調子が悪かったそうなんだがこの度ついに天寿を全うされた
If it's completely broken, I can't fix it. It'd be easier to buy a new one.
そうなんだが一応見てくれると助かる俺から見れば臨終だがお前から見れば仮病かもしれん
You're right, but I'd still appreciate it if you'd take a look. It looks like it's on its deathbed to me. You might be able to nurse it back to health. Okay, I'll try. Beckoned by the other student, the president leaves. I stopped thinking during the sudden turn of events. The other boy, wrench and screwdriver in hand, turns as if he's remembered something. You're early today, Tosaka. He awkwardly mutters and leaves. Was that supposed to be a greeting? The president said that the student and the president and the student called Emiya walked off into the distance. And that would be Shiro Emiya from Class 2C.
それはいいんだけどさ。
How do I put it? The wrench looked right at home in his hands, but I'm not sure if it's because it makes him look tough or handy. At 7:30 a.m., there's nobody else in classroom 2A. I take a seat at my desk and flip through my math workbook. There's still 30 minutes until morning homeroom. I've got time to kill until my classmates start arriving. Bing bong. The classroom is lively as lunch break begins after fourth period. My school has a cafeteria, so only about half the students stay in the room. It's mostly girls that stay behind. The girls think the cafeteria is a bit too liberal with the seasoning, so... Hop hop.
東坂さん、よかったらお昼ご飯一緒に食べませんか？
Tosaka, won't you have lunch with me? We girls tend to enjoy our lunches as a group.
ありがとう、三枝さん。けどごめんなさい。私今日は学食なんです。今朝は寝過ごしてしまってお弁当を作る余裕がなかったものですから。
I'm sorry, I can't, Sagusa, but thanks for asking. I'll be eating at the cafeteria today. I overslept this morning, so I didn't have time to make lunch.
いや、そうなんですか。
Fucking Christ. Saigusa looks guiltily at her feet. Among the refined and well-behaved students of Class A, she's the most demure. For some reason, she's really nice to me.
余計なことだなんてそんなことはありません。今日はたまたまだから気にしないで。また明日これに懲りず声をかけてください。
There's nothing to apologize for. I just didn't have time to make a lunch today. Please ask me again tomorrow. I let her down as gently as I can and offer a genuine smile.
はい。でも遠坂さんでも寝過ごすことがあるんですね。
So even you sleep in too, huh? Perhaps my smile made her feel better. Saigusa turns back to her table looking relieved. She's adorable. You could guess Saigusa isn't drop-dead gorgeous, but her smile always puts everyone else around her at ease.
そうなんです。なんとかごまかしてますけど、本当は寝ぼすけなんですよ、私。部活だって朝起きられないから入ってないんです。
I don't really let it show, but I'm really not a morning person. I can't get up early enough to be in any clubs. Saigusa somehow maintains an elegant air even when startled. Watching her reactions is always so calming, but that doesn't mean I have time to just stand there and talk. If I keep up a conversation with someone so disarming, the real me is bound to show
そ
herself.
れじゃあ食堂に行ってきます。三枝さんもごゆっくり。
I'm off to the cafeteria then. Enjoy your lunch.
はい、遠坂さんも。
You too, Tosaka. Saigusa and I exchange some graceful greetings, and she returns to her friends. Alright, well, since Saigusa is the track and field club manager, Makidera and Himuro are the track and field club's rising stars. Makidera is a bad influence with whom I go window shopping on days off, but I don't know Himuro too well.
売られたね、ゆきっち。だから言ったでしょ。遠坂は弁当持ってこないって。釣りたかったらあいつの分も飯用意しないとね。
Looks like you got dumped, Seiichi. Told you that Tosaka didn't bring lunch. If you want to hook her, you gotta bring enough food for both of you.
マキ、それは私たちも食堂に移動すればいいだけの話では。
Maki, can't we just go to the cafeteria with her too then?
ダメダメ。食堂は狭いんだから。弁当組が座れるスペースなんてねっての。それに遠坂と同席してみなさい。男どもの視線がうざいのなんの。
Nah, it's too cramped in there to share space with us brown baggers. Plus, it's really annoying how the boys stare when you sit next to Tosaka.
前の休みだってさ、二人で遊びに行ったのに、あいつだけ得しちゃってさ。やだよね、美人を鼻にかけた優等生は。
The last time we hung out, she hogged all the attention. She's an overachiever and all swanky too. I can't take it. Makidera takes hold of Saigusa's desk as she continues to rant about me. Despite her foul mouth, she actually wears a kimono really well, like a picturesque Japanese beauty.
君の陰口は遠坂城に聞こえているようだが。
Lady Tosaka can hear everything you're saying. Meanwhile, Himura's cool and solid demeanor are a complete foil to that of Makidera.
やべ、遠坂に聞かれた。ゲゲ、めっちゃ睨んでるじゃん、あいつ。
Did she hear me? Oh, I bet she's totally glaring at me.
別に遠坂さん、マキちゃんを睨んでなんかないと思うけど。
Oh, I don't think she's glaring at you.
睨んでんだよ、あれ。あいつは笑ってる時が一番怖いんだから。なんだよ、いいじゃんか、口ぐらい。多めに見ろよ。私と遠坂の仲だろ。たい焼きおごってやっただろ。
She's totally shooting lasers. It's the scariest when she's smiling at you. Oh, come on, just let it slide. We're pals, remember? I treated you to taiyaki that one time. Kaede Makidera puffs her cheeks out in a pout, waving her disposable chopsticks in the air. Would you believe that her hobby is collecting wind chimes? The world works in strange ways. At any rate, it's rude to Saigusa to stare at the three of them. Caught between me and the foul-mouthed Makidera, Saigusa looks like she doesn't know what to do with
気に
herself.
しないでいいのよ、三枝さん。
It's alright, Saigusa.
それと牧寺さ、おご 怒らされたのは私で、品物はたい焼きではなくクレープでした。無意識に事実を改ざんする悪癖、次あたりに直さないと考えますよ。
And Makidera, I was the one who treated you to crepes, not taiyaki. You really ought to fix how often you work in hyperbole.
マジ怖え、あの笑顔。
That smile scares the daylights out of me. Makidera holds up her lunchbox lid like some kind of shield. I bid the odd trio farewell, leave the classroom, and slide through the door closed. Oops.
なんだよ、大差ないじゃんか、たい焼きもクレープも。どっちも甘いの皮で包んでるんだからさ。
Give me a break. Taiyaki crepes? What's the difference? They're both sweet things wrapped in carbs. Makidera utters something blasphemous for a girl.
たい焼きとク
God,
レ
that
ープ
scared
が同じ
me.
ですって。
Fuck. She thinks taiyaki and crepes are the same? Is she even human? Are all desserts the same to her? If I'd known that her taste buds could distinguish flavors 500 yen very, very berry from 80 yen... Oh, okay. Okay.
何本気で悔しがってるんだ私。
I must still be tired from last night. The cafeteria sounds like a pain, so I'll just buy some bread from the counter and eat on the roof. I purchased my lunch and head to the unoccupied roof. Though it's different in the summertime, during the winter, the roof is a convenient place to eat that other students tend to avoid. It's too cold to hang out here during lunch, but that's a small price to pay for privacy.
さて、とりあえずご飯と。
Time to eat. I indulge in the tomato sandwich and hot lemon drink I bought from the cafeteria. It's a simple lunch, made all the more delicious by the fact that I can enjoy it up here in peace. Yeah. I finished the sandwich and sipped on the warm lemony drink. I'm a little tired. It's hard to balance being an overachiever with avoiding human contact as much as possible. As the saying goes, one should be accomplished as both the pen and the sword. It's a point of pride, no, conviction, that I be the top student of the school. I decided that if I was going to be a student, then I would be the very best. I don't want people looking down on the Tosaka name. That's how Rin Tosaka came to be a perfect, flawless student. On the other hand, my occupation as a mage is dangerous, so I shouldn't associate too much with normal people. When a mage is discovered by the public, she has no choice but to eliminate witnesses to protect herself. I'd rather not resort to that. That's why I keep my social interactions purely superficial out of necessity. I only hang out with Makidera on my days off, and I turn down invitations from more sociable people like Sagusa. It's difficult walking the tightrope of being the #1 student at school while making sure I don't become anybody else's #1. And sure, there are times when it tires me out, and I feel life is a real drag.
もう時間か。
Oh, it's already time? I finish the hot lemon drink and stand up. That's enough sentimentality for today. Time to go back downstairs and become Rin Tosaka again.
では、ホームルームを終了する。日直は日誌と戸締まりの確認を。
Homeroom is over. Make sure you log your day shifts and lock the doors and
部活
windows.
動のない生徒は速やかに帰宅するように。
If you don't have any club activities, try to get home quick. This dude gives off Squidward vibes. That's the teacher.
Class 2A's teacher gets his usual spiel and leaves the room. As far as I know, he said it exactly the same way all year.
どうさか、今日はもうお帰り？
Tosaka, are you going home already?
ええ、朝方マトウ君と一見あったし、面倒になる前に帰るわ。
I had a run-in with Mato this morning, so I want to leave before it gets out of hand.
やっぱりそうか。マトウのやつ、今朝は特に荒れてたからさ。遠坂に手ひどく扱われたんだろうなって思ってた。
I figured. He sure had temper this morning. You must have put him through the ringer.
おう、迷惑をかけてしまったかしら、三辻さん。
Did he now? Sorry for the trouble.
別に、マトウが下級生をいびるのはいつものことだし。あれはあれでいい精神鍛錬になるよ。
It wasn't really. Mato's always hard on the younger students. It helps them build character.
そう、よかった。じゃあ、この埋め合わせはまた今度。
Glad to hear it. I'll make it up to you later.
はいはい。これに懲りず、また寄っていってちょうだい。
Sure, sure. I hope it doesn't put you off. Stop by again sometime. I make my way home without taking any detours. My time as in Tosaka, the honor student, ends once I leave the school. The next half of the day is reserved for the other me. I have to become a mage of the Tosaka.